Start out with, she plays Britta Perry, Gillian, Jeong. You know her as Shirley Bennett, Yvette, Nicole Brown. And then we have one of the writers of the show, McKenna. Dr. Kendrick K. Jeong. The man who created all of this madness, Harmon. We've got one more writer of the show, story editor Basilone. First of all, guys, obviously you all know, Community just came back this past Thursday to some pretty awesome numbers. I don't really bore you with all the stats, but I'll just say that it was the highest the series has ever gotten on Thursday nights at 8 and adults 18 to 34. It was a new season high in total viewers, and it beat a little show called American Idol. You guys feel like ready to conquer the universe now?
Yeah, I think so. I think we hit a tipping point. We just have to. There's like a Big Bang Theory. Obviously, just have those extra 12 million people that I think they can be gotten.
Here it comes. Here it comes. I've been ridiculed for doing this, saying thank you, because Harmon's broken inside. But I want you guys to know that it's by no small, it's no small thing that you guys did with the felt goatees and the flash mobs and the hashtags and the drawings, the comics. We feel how much you guys love this show. We feel how much you care for us and we care for you back. And we just want to say, the fact that you guys walked away from your computers and watched us live and got us those numbers is massive. So if you guys can just keep doing that every Thursday at 8, we'd really, no, I'm kidding. No, that's really, thank you very much. We really are humbled by how much you guys love us, and thank you for coming out today.
I think one of the most important things that you guys probably did, my theory anyway, because it's not like we all have Nielsen boxes, I think the important thing that probably happened over the hiatus was a combination of those episodes being available on Hulu and you guys telling your friends who were on the fence, who were sick of hearing you talk about Community at parties, this is that show, it got pulled off the air, now is a good time to get caught up on it, and you spread that infection, and we came back with an extra million people. I hope that that's what happened, because that's the thing that we can keep going. You guys can keep doing that, be passionate about the show, and tell your friends, because I don't want you to have to do more than that. This isn't, it shouldn't have to be a job for you. You should be able to be a billboard for the show by enjoying it and having a big smile on your face and going, I love Community. That should be the end of your job. But thanks, Dad. More paintball? Season 4 will.
Yeah. I was a big fan of a show that I think this audience is pretty familiar with, Chuck. And that show had a certain relationship with a certain sandwich company. Has the baton been passed? Is this, we going forward, will we do more Community?
They came to us. Subway, they're out there. They're pretty liberal and progressive about their product placement, and I've done a lot of successful integrated marketing and stuff before, so I'm not one of those writers that's afraid of it like ruining everything. But I have to have 100% control over that stuff, and so we just kept saying no to Subway, and then somebody finally said, well, what if we just gave you this amount of money and we didn't care what you did? And I was like, okay, well that we can do, because we can tell a story that way. It's not like we want to vilify our product placement, but we do need to tell a story with it, so in order for it to feel good. So that's what so they were cool with it, and so we're excited about that. It was some extra scratch, and I think it's going to be fun.
Well, Gillian, Britta had sex with Subway. Is there any hope for this relationship to continue now that he's not Subway, or is that the last?
Well, I did something very dirty to him that I initiated and he did not consent to, so I think the relationship's probably over. But, you know, there's always hope down the line. Maybe I'll find him somewhere down the road.
And Yvette, you know, you've had this recent storyline with Shirley and Pierce. Will this continue, the two of them, this unlikely partnership going forward?
Yeah, Shirley and Pierce are kind of like oil and water, and I think it's kind of fun to see them together because I don't think she likes him very much. Does she like him very much?
Well, she's human, so no.
So, you know, I think they're going to go down the road to try to make Shirley's sandwiches a reality, but because this is, you know, Greendale and things don't always go as planned, there's a good chance that it will go awry in some way.
Now, Ken, I wanted to ask you, you know, poor Chang, he tried so hard to be a member of this group. At this point, you know, is there any hope, or is he just not even think there is hope, and so he's channeling his energy in another way?
I think he's just clinically and medically insane, and I think he is bringing wonderful wisp of paranoid schizophrenia to Greendale.
Now, this show has obviously become known for some very unusual, sort of risky, out-of-the-box episodes. I want to bring up one in particular this season, Remedial Chaos Theory. This gentleman right here, Chris, you wrote that episode. How difficult is it to shape a 22-minute episode of TV into something like that with all the elements in there?
First of all, I have to say that, you know, it's television, you know, we have a writing staff, and we all work, you know, it was Dan's idea. He came in, vomited up a bunch of ideas for it, and then we picked through the vomit, and we kept on helping him shape. Anyway, but it was tough. It drove, you know, there was a group of us working on it, and we slowly went insane. I think you saw some of the pictures that Dan posted of the whiteboards that looked like it was right out of, you know, A Beautiful Mind. It was difficult, and but really, really rewarding in the end, particularly how people responded to it, because we just didn't know what people were going to think of this thing, because God knows we were shooting that thing on the set, and I think we all were wondering what the hell we were shooting at a certain point. I know the cast.
Well, I think it was as ambitious for us to shoot as it was for you guys to write, and we were shooting it up until I think the week before it aired in bits and pieces. So one time Yvette and I shot a scene at like 2 in the morning. Do you remember that? We were like 3 episodes ahead of it, and they were like, "Go put on those clothes and do that hair again, and go in there, and you're high, and she's got some pies." And so it was so exciting because it was so ambitious. And I remember, Chris, we were at Comic-Con last year, and he was, yeah.
You guys like comic books?
And Chris was telling me in a party at Comic-Con, like, episode 303 is like the craziest thing we've ever attempted, which on our show really means something. And I think we were all so proud of how it turned out, and thank you guys for responding to it and enjoying it.
How do you hone down that episode? Because I would imagine that, you know how you only got 22 minutes, you know, do you guys have a lot of extra scenes, a lot of extra time you have to cut on episodes like that? Or do you just know by the time you're shooting, okay, we've got to get it down to these core elements?
Well, that one we actually had to air a week out of order precisely because we needed an extra week in the edit bay on it. That's why. I mean, a lot of the more hardcore fans are usually all too aware of when we shuffle the episode order, and I hate doing it because it confuses people. Now, once again, because of the hiatus, we're doing it again, by the way. It doesn't affect anything, but in next week's episode, just be prepared that they're going to be coming back into the study room going, "Hey, how was winter break?" It was something that I hope you'll agree we had to do for political reasons. Like, we had, I mean, just to keep the show that you love, like, to come back strong. The episode that you saw us come back with, it was like, that's the first time I ever did that for that reason. It was like let's just, we're coming back on the air, maybe we'll have a bunch of new viewers, let's really roll out the red carpet for them with a grounded episode where that showcases the characters and doesn't confuse confuse the hell out of them. So anyways, that was a bit of a tangent. If you guys view TV the way I do, then you get nervous when we shuffle the episode order. The timeline episode was shifted by a week because Chris and I were sitting in the edit bay for an extra week going, this thing sucks. And obviously it didn't, but it's worrying that it does, that causes you to put the extra work into something that makes it great.
All those great all those the dice special effects, that was an idea that you came up with that I thought was a terrible idea at the time. And then I'm like, no, we don't need to do that. We don't have to spoon feed it, but I think it actually became such a great, iconic, cool storytelling device in that episode, and that was part of the reason too. He was getting all those designs and special effects for that episode, and then covered brilliantly in ADR by one of your jokes, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. One of the best first joke of the episode was that their apartment number is 303, which was supposed to match that it was episode 303, and so Annie and Britta arrive at the door and they wanted us to ADR some just like, oh, we're here to turn over the apartment. And I saw the 303 come up and I never realized that was the first joke, and I thought it was so great, but now we're 304, and so I said something that addressed that in some way. How many people are there here today? This is so intimidating to talk to a crowd of people. Thank you all for coming out, but it's very intimidating.
The show has also become known for excellent holiday episodes, and I wanted to ask Steve, you wrote the most recent Christmas episode, Regional Holiday Music. At this point, is it a little intimidating because, Christmas episodes already the show has been delivering, and you feel that okay, what are we going to do? This one has to be something special here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a big fan of both season 1 and season 2's Christmas episodes. The claymation episode, I think, is pretty retardedly awesome.
But any retardedly awesome people in the audience?
No, but Dan's always kind of, I think, wanted to do something Glee-based, and I know my writing partner is a huge musical theater nerd, so she was very excited about that prospect, and we just kind of went from there.
But you guys really pushed it, to your credit. I mean, it probably wouldn't have happened this season because I've always felt that Community needed to do a musical episode, but that's something that, I mean, Grey's Anatomy did a musical episode, Scrubs did a musical episode, that it's not like just doing it makes the audience go, oh, thank you for doing it. It's been done, so you have to do it well in order for it to be special. And I like writing songs is like a crapshoot. It takes a long time to write songs, and you don't know if you spend 8 hours on one, if you come out on the other side with no time left and a crappy song.
We actually had to hire a Emmy award-winning lyricist to help us out.
Yes. I won an Emmy for my songwriting. But Steve and his partner Annie, because Annie's a big musical nerd and stuff, it was like, this is the year it's going to happen for sure. And I was like, good. I like it when the writers get passionate about stuff and force me to do stuff that I think I would chicken out on for another season.
I wanted to say something about Dan Harmon. He is a brilliant lyricist, and the rap that Troy and Yvette do, right? I heard a version of Dan Harmon rapping. That was a horrible rendition of what he did. But no, he literally, I heard Donald do it, and I thought, oh, that's so nice that, you did it, whatever. And Donald was like, no, this is exactly Dan Harmon's flow. Dan Harmon did the exact rap with that same, it was genius. You should play it. Do you have it?
Yeah, I have my phone right here. What if I accidentally play the voicemail from Chevy where he tells me I'm only going to live to 57 the way I eat?
Keep the picture pretty.
He cursed me like a gypsy. I really believe that. I think that's such a specific number. You're only going to live to 57. That's like a curse. That's what the fuck is that? I got cursed by Fletch.
Yeah, another subject, Yvette. You and Joel, there was a really great episode this season, the foosball episode, where we got to see the backstory on your characters and, give it a really nice friendship bonding there at the end for Jeff and Shirley. Going forward, are we going to touch upon that again to see those two interact?
Yeah, you know what? One of the first episodes I worked with Joel was in the first season, and that was also the first time Joel and I as actors were working together and got to know each other. So Shirley and Jeff becoming friends was kind of me and Joel becoming friends. Now we're 2 seasons down the line and we're already friends, so it was like getting to have him all to myself. I'm very selfish when I get cast members to myself. Like I love when I get Gillian by myself or Allison by myself. So we found out that there's a nice little sweetness about Shirley and Jeff together, and thankfully the writers have written maybe 3 or 4 more times this season where we get to see them together in some capacity, I think.
Yeah, I did figure that out about smack in the middle of this season. That we got to get back to that gossip story from the first season when you became a confidant of his. I mean, your characters are in a similar age bracket, and I think that I won't prattle on about that, but it's weird in TV. You're selling heads on a box, and sometimes you're supposed to think as hard as you think about things like remedial chaos and paintball and all that stuff, and then another part of your job is just to think like a douche, like a producer douche, just going like, put her next to him, she pops. And you kind of like, because that's what the show is people standing around and like being with each other and stuff. And somehow Yvette next to Joel works for your character.
It's a funny
better.
visual, I think, too, because we're like just so opposite in every way. So.
Now, Ken, I don't know how much you can reveal, but that trailer, that very cool trailer we just saw, there's some interesting glimpses in there. There's a large Chang banner being unfurled. You're dressed like Napoleon at one point. Anything you can say about what's going on there?
I mean, nothing I want to say except I don't want to spoil anything, but this is my favorite Chang arc of the series. So this incarnation of Chang has been my favorite because it combines the authority from season 1 with the patheticness of season 2, and it splits the difference season 3 with being a security guard. So when Dan told me over the summer I'd be a security guard, I instantly got it. I was crying, laughing instantly, and I just saw it happening, and it's I just can't wait for you guys to see it, because it really is just some of the favorite stuff I've ever done on the show.
Gillian and Dan, you both sort of talked about figuring Britta out in those first few episodes. Britta is such an awesome character. What do you think it was that sort of got her to click in and for people to really, I think now really, really adore her?
Well, when I wrote the pilot, I needed a carrot for this rapscallion character, Jeff Winger, and so Gillian had to play this role of like the girl that the guy wants, and like all kind of nerdy writers like me do, the ideal girl is always just this list of eclectic traits. We don't know. We just sort of, we're nerds, so we go like, my favorite girl will wear Chuck Taylors, and she'll listen to Radiohead, and she does this, and she does that. It's just sort of a list of stuff that you fantasize about, your fetishes and stuff, and there's no more dimension than that. And so that's what the character was in the pilot, and I figured, well, if we get picked up, we'll figure out who this person is, because that's not going to work for a series. And then when we got picked up, we sat down with the writers, and Hillary Winston, one of the first season writers, I said, so let's start talking about the characters. Let's start with Britta. And Hillary said, I don't like her. And I said, what don't you like about her? She said, I wouldn't trust her. I feel like if I went shoe shopping with her and felt vulnerable for a second and acted like a woman, she'd punish me for it. She'd make me feel awkward about it, like I wouldn't be able to be. She just rattled off all these things. And instead of changing the character, I thought, okay, so that's who Britta is. She's the woman that women don't like. Let's start with that. So you see that in Football, Feminism, and You. I think it's the peeing alone story. Like she tries to be Yvette's pee buddy, and Yvette dumps her as a pee buddy because she's a drag in the bathroom, and she confesses women don't like her, and cries and stuff about it. So that was the beginning, and then that just sort of, I think the second weird burst was the bagel thing, because I say bagel wrong, and the writers tease me and the actors tease me, and I had just been ridiculed an extra amount the week that I was doing a rewrite on that episode, and I just gave Britta that trait. And I think that's what male writers need to learn to do more. It's just like you got to turn off the part of your brain that interprets a character as through their gender sometimes, like half the time, so that you have a dimensionalized character that because a guy just went, oh, this person is fallible in this way, and that way, and then I think that's what creates a good female character, is a guy forgetting that it's a female character a lot.
It works with diversity too.
No, it doesn't. Black people are completely specific. They have a list of qualities that they share with each other. I am a race expert, and I'll be speaking at RaceCon next week. They respect me very much. There is a black person that runs that convention, and they're very articulate, and I enjoy their friendship very much. No, I like them. They're one of my best friends.
Gillian, when you have a scene like the one in that episode where she's like, I lived in New York.
Yeah.
You just embrace that part of her.
Oh, I love it. I love her indignation. I like her hypocrisy. I like her fallibility, her stubbornness, and I like her tough skin because she withstands a lot of abuse and doesn't learn from it. Just keeps going down that road, and I just love playing Britta, and I think it's a gift as an actress, you know, to play a character like this, and I'm so glad that people have embraced the Britta-ness of Britta, and I love the character so much.
Guys, we're going to start going to audience questions in 1 second. Just line up right over there. Before that, I just want to ask, you guys have all worn a lot of crazy costumes, and I know there's more to come. For the writers, it just became a thing where you're like, what can we get them in this week? And for the actors, are you just used to it now? Like, okay, we're going to be wearing these strange outfits this week.
Wait till you see this Thursday's episode, not the one that you just watched, but the one that's actually airing this Thursday.
There's a lot of delights.
You're going to see some costumes. Yes, I'm finally taking advantage of the celebrity that I most resemble.
So true. Me too. Right?
And writers, you just like seeing these guys dressed up in different ways?
I think like I guess we can't really give it away, but like this Thursday's episode, it was an idea that's been kicking around. I think like the last year and a half we really wanted to do this thing, and we finally did it, and it was inherent in the story that I thought, can I speak more vaguely? There's some funny costumes. No, we'll be writing for it, yeah. God, we cannot wait to get that Napoleon outfit on again. Drawing on the wall. The only thing I think I guess occasionally with Dean Powell, like, what's that real hilarious idea we had? Oh, half man, half woman. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's start taking some audience questions out there. I know you're there in the darkness. There we go.
Oh, hi.
Mic, please.
Testing.
Yeah.
So I have a question for Dan Harmon and all the stellar writers. I absolutely am inspired by what you guys do and Harmon's recent article about how you structured the episodes. So my question is, there's so much fan appreciation. Do you guys are laughing? Do you guys?
No, but there's somebody really cute next to you with a little hat on that's smiling. Sorry, I didn't mean to be distracted.
You're cute too.
You're adorable too, but he's kind of stealing focus. But go on.
So there are a lot of fans out there that like the Annie-Jeff relationship, and I know with the serialized show, it's so much harder to put fans' ideas into them. But since you're not really dealing with each episode has to follow the previous, do you ever have the opportunity to sort of take ideas you see the fans talking about or bringing back guest stars they really love back into the series?
That's more of a between seasons thing. There's usually, even though the writers are 6 weeks ahead of the audience on average, so if somebody tweets me, put the word hot dog in the next episode, the earliest that could happen would be 6 weeks after the person says that, assuming a normal schedule. Then when you add to that, if someone says, put Tom Hanks in the next episode, we're working on it. That's almost impossible because, well, it's Tom Hanks, but also, like, even if it wasn't Tom Hanks, you're adding to that 6 weeks the negotiations with the, so you go to NBC and go, we want Tom Hanks, and NBC says, Tom Hanks, can we see his reel? What was he in? And you go, are you kidding? And they go, yeah, what about this guy from Upright Citizens Brigade? He was just on Parks and Rec. Yeah, we got to deal with him. Anyways, you have that conversation, and then Sony says, like, Tom Hanks, he's not relevant. And you go, why do you think that? He ran over my dog. And you go, like, guys, and then it's like summer, and but as far as Jeff kissing Annie or something, I mean, that's just sort of like, I don't know, I didn't answer your question at all. In between seasons, we go, how'd that season go? And then we make big decisions based on that. And but there's like this sort of constant like connection to the audience and what they're digging the whole time. Good answer, Harmon.